show.
Things gonna work. We're gonna try YouTube live streaming. Let's see if this works. Stream health is good. Start it. Start it. Oh shoot. Man, my computer. So let's see now. Stop using it. All right, let's see. The live stream is up. Let's go. Thanks for everybody joining the live stream of the Live Show podcast. Hopefully this works out. This is the first time. My name is Kortney Shane Williams, and do this once a week. Let's see if I can get busy. All right. Hello and welcome to the podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to the show. You can subscribe to the Last Show podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn Radio, and we do it like that. Look, man, this is a pop culture, sports podcast and whatnot, and just once a week, man, this is how we get down. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn Radio. Also, feel free, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Kortney Shane. That's KORTNEYSHANE. Also, welcome to the show. People streaming live through YouTube. This is first time trying this, so let's see if this will work. Some professionalism, ladies and gentlemen. Joining me on the show this week, co-hosting the show with me is my brother, Kyle Williams. Welcome to the show, my man.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it. It's about time. Cleveland, this is for you. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you having me. It's always a blast to be on, man. Thanks for having me again. I must have not messed up too bad last. Sorry, I turned into part robot apparently last week. I listened to the podcast. Let's see if we can get a little bit better this week, man.
Yeah, let's see what happens. So what else? Okay. So I want to start the show here. Today is Sunday, so this show it'll come out on Tuesday. But I want to thank everybody that came out last night to the Saturday night show at Naked City Brewery. Thank you guys so much. It's another sellout show. It's fantastic, and the weather's been like good, I guess, in Seattle. Well, actually, yesterday was like the first good day. The days before that, it was like 95 degrees. And 95 degrees in Seattle, as well, you know, the white people here aren't ready to deal with that kind of happiness. You know, you need a little drizzle every now and then. It hasn't rained for like 2 weeks, man. So, thank you guys for coming inside. That came to my show last night. It was fantastic. I had a great time. If you're interested in the show, you want to come to the show, you should come to the show. It's every month. I host a comedy show in Seattle, Washington at Naked City Brewery. So you can get tickets to the show at my website, KortneyShaneWilliams.com, KRTNEYSHANE Williams.com. And you can get the tickets there. Also, you can just go to my, go to brownpapertickets.com and you can get tickets there too. All right, this live stream is throwing me off. I gotta stop looking at it. It's weird because like when I'm trying to like live stream the show through YouTube, but it's on a delay. So like I'm watching the delay of me talking, and it's really tripping me out. It's really tripping me out. And like the video output is low, so the video is buffering too. This is not working very. I need a new computer. All right. Anyways, let's start the show. I want to start the show here. You know what? We actually never talked about this on the podcast before, and it's been on the show open for like weeks. So about 3 weeks ago, I forget what airplane flight it was, but there was an airplane that allegedly had to evacuate the plane because somebody farted on the airplane. Now, I don't know if you heard about this story or not, but the dude farted on the airplane. And apparently, now that the airline said that's not true. The airline said it was a mechanical issue. But somebody on the plane said somebody farted. Now, if you have to evacuate the plane because you farted or somebody you know farted, is that something you take pride in? I'm not sure. I mean, because if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it to death, as my man James Brown said. You got to do it to death, man. But that is foul, and it had me thinking. All right. Would you be embarrassed by something like that? How would you react to something like that? First of all, like, obviously no one knew who farted. Because if you knew who farted, you wouldn't have to take everybody off the plane. You just take that one rancid person off the plane. So, nobody knew who farted. You know what? I should have looked and see where this plane was going. But this is like weeks ago now, so I have no time. I don't know where the plane was going because, like, if this was a plane that was, like, you know, leaving, like, India and then, like, going to Vegas, that's an awful flight. I'm talking about the country of India, by the way, because you probably got like a bunch of, you know, what do they eat in India? A bunch of bunch of curry and stuff. And that is a foul plane, ladies and gentlemen, foul plane. So I don't know where this plane was going to, but it had me thinking: have you ever done something so bad that you had to evacuate a building? Have you ever? Personally, I've allegedly pulled like a fire alarm. That's bad. I mean, that's when people had to evacuate the building. That's probably like the worst thing I did. But it had me thinking, Kyle, have you done something so bad that people evacuated the building?
What's actually funnier is the idea that they originally were just trying to find the dude who pooted. And it's like, you know what? Fine. You know what? I didn't want to do this. But if you're not going to say who you are, not going to identify yourself, forget it. Nobody's going anywhere. Like, as a teacher, this is like the key when you know the teacher has lost control of the situation. Like, clearly, the flight attendants, captain, lost control of the situation. And they're like, you know what? You don't want to say it? Fine, guess what? Plane's not going anywhere. Everybody else. Like, I can just imagine, like, families of, like, screaming kids, like, oh, my God, is Christmas going to happen this year? Like, really, like, just rolling off the plane, tears rolling down people's eyes. Like, nah. And then the flight attendant just sitting there with her arms folded, shaking her head at everybody. Because you know what? As Mr. Williams, you know what? You either did it or you know who did it. So, everybody gets off the plane. So I don't think I've ever cleared out that much space, but I think it's hilarious that I could be the person or someone be the person just in the corner laughing. And him and probably his whole buddies like have intimidated a row of people to not say anything. That's kind of my vibe. That's more my vibe. That's funnier.
And you know what's funny? I was hoping you'd say that because when I saw this story, immediately I thought, have I ever been around someone that had to make a building evacuate? And I was like, you know what? My brother. I've been around him. Oh, yeah. That's why the story's been on the document so long. This is a crazy story. Now, everybody, listen up. This is a crazy story. And as soon as I start this story, you'll remember exactly what happened. But you've evacuated a building before. Yes. Once upon a time,
this can't be good.
Yeah, once upon a time when we were kids, let's say about 11, 12 years old, maybe. I can't even stop laughing. We went to private school. We went to Christian private school. So you had to wear a uniform. So we went to a uniform store. It was me, my brother, and my mom. We went to a uniform store to look at uniforms. And you know the story now. So we go to this uniform store, and then we're looking through. You gotta understand, like a uniform store, it's like a makeshift. This is not like a Walmart. Like this place, like is basically in a strip mall. You know, like one day it's a uniform store, the next day it's a sports car shop, the next day they're selling pool supplies.
Oh, yeah.
Like this is just a space. So we go into this uniform store. It's like a box store. They could be selling Herbalife for all I know. Whatever they're doing in there. So we go into the store and my brother says, I gotta use the bathroom. Now, he's 10 years old, maybe 9. He has to use the bathroom. And then my mom's like, oh my God, because that's the first thing you do. Oh my gosh. So he goes and uses the bathroom, and it's a single occupancy unisex bathroom. And at 9 years old, 8, 9 years old, when I tell you he cleared that place out, he cleared that place out. And you know what? The smell didn't even hit you for a while. Like I remember, like yesterday, I was sitting there, and my mom was like, "What's that smell?" I was like, "Oh my God!" And it started wafting through the building like the angel of death, like no man alive. That's when my mom wrapped up the transaction and bounced. Now the people that were running the establishment, they stayed. I don't know what they did, but that day that building was evacuated, ladies and gentlemen.
That was before I knew that. That was before I knew about the art. That's terrible, man. You can't put people business out there like that, man. Come on, man.
It had me thinking, man.
What we doing out here, man?
That was foul, dude. To
That's
do
funny.
that,
You know what's actually funny? I don't even remember. You know what's funny? See, now I'm thinking about that dude in that play. I don't even remember that story that well. I remember parts of it, but I don't remember that story that well. I do remember that busted down strip mall place we used to get uniform stuff for the low probably. But I don't remember that particular instance. But I bet everyone else does. Which makes me
remember.
think if you want to play with somebody that pooted, that's a savage dude. He's not even gonna remember that. He's probably done that before. That's not the first. Like people just start digging through records and like passenger 19357, like whatever his name is. Dude has a Jack and Coke and a cheeseburger with extra Monterey. Gets on every plane fight, and this is the first time he's ever got accosted by it. I just checked that man's record.
Yeah,
I bet more. I bet it was a Spirit flight. Was it Spirit?
I don't know, man. I don't know what kind of flight it was, but I mean, it definitely wasn't a flight where
there's not enough free flights.
People, yeah, it definitely wasn't a flight where people mind not being on time. At the same time, I mean, if something that foul happens, I do want an emergency landing. And when I fly, I got to be somewhere. But you know, that's just flat out disgusting, man. And no one owned it, obviously. But you know, but I thought it was funny when I came across that story. I was like, I know somebody that's evacuated the building. Yeah.
That's terrible.
Welcome to the Last Show podcast. Thank you guys for listening to the show. It is called The Last Show because this may be it. This live stream is tripping me out because now I'm digging in my nose and people can see it. Hello, thank you for tuning into the show. That is Usher. Let It Burn. Oh, Usher. Oh, Usher. Usher, man, I don't know what's going on now, man. One day you got Usher. You got Bill Cosby. Next thing you got R. Kelly. Everybody is getting jammed up. Look, man, the internet is like, you know what? Rick James said cocaine is a hell of a drug. The internet's a hell of a drug. If the internet was around like this when Rick James was around, I mean, we have a completely different story. I mean, we already know he like sodomized the woman with a crack pipe, allegedly. But it's been way crazier than that. But this Usher story is nuts. So I don't know if you read it yet or what. Now I just sent it to you, right? So I don't know if you know what's going on. Do you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's either been accused of giving an STD, right? Is that what's happening?
So I guess he gave somebody one. Like allegedly he got. I don't even know what he got, man. All I know is I read the lawsuits. So he had one, and then he settled like some case from 2012. He settled with somebody. All of a sudden, 3 more people came out of the woodwork and said, "Hey, man, you know, we had sexual contact." It was 2 women and 1 man. Now, all of them said they had sexual contact with Usher in the lawsuit. That's what the lawsuit said. I read it online. The lawsuit said they all alleged they had sexual contact with Usher. Now, I'm not trying to get in Usher's bedroom, but I'm going to be honest with you. My first reaction when I heard he may have gave someone herpes, allegedly, my first reaction is, it's not that big of a deal, dog. Y'all need to suck it up. I mean, it's just herpes. This is not the end of the world, man. I mean, we all got our cross to carry. You got herpes, man. Rock on. It's not going to kill you. It ain't going to kill you. Eat your spinach. Like, what's the big deal?
Terrible.
And we all got afflictions.
Terrible.
I mean, honestly, it ain't like, oh, all of a sudden you can't get a home loan. No, dude, look, man, that's the price of doing business, man. Like, sometimes it goes like that. You got to sleep with a superstar. You know, you gotta wear that as a badge of honor. I'm just saying, that's what I do. That's what I do. We all got our cross to carry. We do. I'm asthmatic. I'm not blaming Usher. I mean, dude, we don't all get to pick and choose.
That reminds me of the Michael Jackson joke that Dave Chappelle does about like how like the kid starts telling him he's like I have you over to my house. This mother things. I can't actually say what he said, but go just Google Dave Chappelle Michael Jackson joke. It's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, this is I thought of this when you said it though. Like, can you sue for having a bad time? Like, I don't even know how that is. See, like, I came to your party, like,
the problem. See,
you played all the hits. You know what I mean?
Even though, like, now it's in that weird Bill Cosby spot, right? Because the reason Cosby got all these lawsuits popping up is because of the other lawsuits. So, like, because that one was successful, and probably in there he had to acknowledge that he knew he had it. At that point, now the floodgates are open. I mean, because now everybody that's ever had, you know, any part of the superstar is they're coming at you, man. They're coming at you. You better, what's your girl name? Left Eye? Ain't that who he dated in TLC? Is it Left Eye? No, Left Eye is dead,
I
right?
think he did.
It
I
was
thought he dated. I thought he
Tabaz,
dated Chili. Yeah, I think he
T-Boz,
dated Chili.
Chili. One of them people,
I think he dated Chili.
they gonna come after you, man. Cause TLC is broke. They ain't got no money, man. TLC just put out an album a couple days ago. They got no money. So you Chili trying to get paid. And Usher, you know what I mean? You might, want to put out a statement. You like a minority owner of the Cavaliers, and they might hit you with that Donald Sterling. You know what I mean? Like, it's not good for the game. But that was my first reaction. I don't know what your reaction is. My first reaction is...
I don't really...
Relax.
Yeah, I just feel like you shouldn't be able to sue. I just feel like you shouldn't be able to sue for having a bad time. If that man did what you expected him to do, at this point, like you talked last week a little bit about the Piper himself. At this point, there's certain things you can expect of certain people. There's certain things you can expect of certain people. So if you get the show, see now stop. If you get the show that everybody thinks you're gonna get, then you can't be mad. Like, oh, I didn't like the way that Usher A-Town stomped. Like, well, have you never seen Usher in person? Like, I didn't like that, we had an experience that was memorable, but now I'm remembered for the rest of my life. For better, for worse. Only point being, like, come on, man. Like, that's what you asked for. That's what you asked for, man. If I go to LeBron James' house and, if I go to LeBron James' barber and somebody cuts my edge way back and my hairline's bad, they're like, well, I'm get mad about that? Like, what? That's what you signed up for, man. That's what you signed up for. I just feel like you shouldn't be in a suit for having a bad time.
Oh, excuse me. But I will say, like, at the same time, though, like, if you know you got something, I mean, the human decency would tell you, to disclose that. Do you have to disclose? I mean, I don't know, man. But that was my first reaction. Is like, and he put out the record. It's kind of like my man R. Kelly. He told you he was the Pied Piper. Seems like she's ready.
So here's the thing.
He told you, gotta let it burn.
Here's the thing. I always try to come back to some of a serious note because I'm afraid one day somebody will find these podcasts and I'll lose my job. Just to be honest. But the point being, the bigger question I kind of have about a scenario like that is a lot of times you find people, I feel like, that they don't, in Usher's head, he may have been like, she's not interested in me. She just wants this experience with a rock star. Right? So, like, am I then obligated to tell her all this other stuff when the truth is, or him, to tell him all this stuff when the truth is, he's not even in this for me. So if I tell her that, would that be a deterrent? You know what I mean? Does it matter? Because she's really trying to hang out with a rock star. I'm sure you, not necessarily a rock star, but you as a person at the show, you know that sometimes people are probably around more so because they want to be around somebody cool.
Okay, but
as opposed to, like, actually in there for the business, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, but I'm a kind of a paranoid dude. So, like, I'm not even a sexual thing. I remember, like, when Ebola came out. You know what I mean? Let's say allegedly, like, Ebola was out here in these streets, right? And a comedian knew they had Ebola, and if you passing around the weed, you gotta hold up your hand. We gotta skip you, dog. You can't be like with Ebola, like not catch Ebola because you had Ebola because you didn't have $2. Like, if someone's passing or what, or we, I had a soda. Hey, let me get a sip of your soda. I assume you know what I mean. You all good. I don't think I don't know. I don't know, man. I think you got to disclose it. And Usher knew he had to disclose it, and that's why he got a lawsuit. Well, that's why he settled one lawsuit, and he got another one coming. Something about that rock star life, man. It gets them all. It gets them all, ladies and gentlemen.
But they say rock star lifestyle don't make it.
The other thing is, when you say rock star, when it comes to Usher, kind of stretching it. I mean, he's not really a rock star. I mean, this guy,
Usher's a rock star, man. You can say what you want to. Usher's a rock star, dog.
No. I will say, people know who Usher is. Like, if I ask my mom, hey, do you know who Usher is? She knows who Usher is. If I ask
what's the threshold for being a rock? I feel like
people got to know who you are. You got to have some hits, and people got to know. Hey, he got some hits. He definitely got some hits. He got these little joint. He don't have any like bangers, but he got some hits. Usher's, but a rock star, nah, dude. You got to be able to sell out an arena for a 10-year stretch.
Okay, so you putting this on ticket sales.
Yeah,
But the
man.
thing is, a lot of people can sell out. I mean, John Mayer sells out
Oh, he's a
arenas.
rock star.
He ain't a bigger rock star than Usher.
He a bigger rock star than Usher. I think so.
But he's not bigger than Usher.
I think he's bigger than Usher. Look, man,
Nah.
if John Mayer show up to the karaoke and start, the acoustic "Your Body Is a Wonderland," herpes or no herpes, John Mayer's about to do some work. You know what I'm saying? John Mayer ain't getting sued for herpes. I know that.
You know the song. Yo, you know the song. But if Usher walks in and John Mayer, we digress. Whatever. If Usher walks in and John Mayer walks in, you know Usher before John Mayer. True, the only reason we know John Mayer is because of Jay-Z. And if it wasn't because of that, we probably wouldn't even know him. I just think there's certain dudes you walk down the street and you recognize that guy. Maybe that's not a rock star. I don't think you'd be. I think if you at the point where you start getting sued by your own fans, you're probably not a rock star. So no, that just ain't gonna lie. So regardless,
no, man. If you getting sued by your own fans, it's like that scene in in Ray when his manager walk up to him and say, "Hey man, your slip is showing." You know what I mean, dog? You showed up with that junk edge.
Yeah.
You got that junk edge, man. Yeah. Look, man, you about to get sued by everybody, man. Your slip is showing, dog. Tighten up, man. Tighten up.
That's the start. That's the beginning of the end.
It's like when I did this comedy show when I first started comedy, and the headliner came in. He's like, "Oh, am I late?" He's like, "Hey, man, clean yourself up. You got cocaine all over your nose." And he got out. He came back. He did the show. Like that. That's really what you had. You got to get control of your habit, man. Gird your loins, Usher. Strap it up. What'd you say? Strap. I forgot what that dude's name is. Yeah, he got to gird his loins, man. You got to gird them. All right, so I want to talk about this too. I didn't even send this topic to you, but we'll talk this. And I know you got to go, so let's see if we can get this in real quick. There was a. Did you hear about the kid? So there was a kicker that goes to UCF, and he posts videos on YouTube, and of him kicking. Did you hear about this story? Yeah. You know this story?
Yeah, I saw this local guy. I mean, obviously local to me. He's about an hour away. UCF is from where I currently am. I'm still not going to tell you exactly where I am, just in case I get jammed up one day. But yeah, local guy. Absolutely.
Okay, so this guy anyway. So this kicker, UCF football player, kicker, posts videos on YouTube of him kicking the ball and doing whatever he does. And the kicks are so fantastic that people like go home and YouTube him kicking. I've not looked at the page whatsoever. I'm not interested, but it's popular. And it's so popular that he monetizes the videos. He said he made about $3,000 from monetizing the videos. So the NCAA came in, the governing body came in and said, you can't do that. You're not able to profit off of kicking the ball. Matter of fact, not only that, you can't profit off anything involved with football. If you want to go on there, because he would go on there and talk about quarterbacks and stuff like that. They're like, if you want to go in there and do anything with football, you cannot do that. And if you do that, you are kicked out of this school. And if you want to stay at school, you can only stay under one set of terms. You have to give all the money to a charity of your choice, which I find that to be odd. And you got to take down the page. You got to take down the page. And this kid said, I'm good. How about y'all just...
Not going to be able to do it.
Not going to be able to do it. Not going to be able to do it.
Not going to be able to do it.
He said, give up what?
You can't fire me. I quit.
He said, donate what? To who? Not going to be able to do it, man. So he didn't... So yeah, man. So he didn't give up the video. He got thrown out of school. And the crazy thing is he got thrown out of school and he didn't think before. He should have told him, hey, just give me time to think about it. He shouldn't just automatically said, I'm not going to do it. Because... he actually got thrown out of his apartment because he couldn't afford to stay there, which lets me know your YouTube videos ain't as popping the $3,000 you say they popping. You can't afford on-campus housing. So they threw him out of his apartment, and they gave him like 3 days to move out. It was like, hey, dude, Friday, be out. As soon as he said, no, I'm good, it was like, all right, you got to be out by Friday. Now, this story got me thinking. Obviously, it's time to get paid if you want to get paid, in sports. I feel like, you should get paid. To say you couldn't do anything with that sport, that's weird, right? Like, you can't do any football, anything.
I mean, this is a skill I have. Like, how crazy could a person be? This is a skill that I have. That's like telling a business student that you can't do business over the summer for Morgan Stanley or whatever these other crazy banks that hire these people on these long-term internship programs, and they're hoping they can get a job after college. You know what? That's telling me that I can't use my business sense. Like, that's stupid. You would never tell a kid they're not allowed to use their philosophy to sign up for an internship and make a few $1,000s over the summer. You never do that. I was able to have a summer job. I went to a nice university, and it was so nice that I had to pay the bill for it. I'm still paying the bill for it. So guess what? In the summertime, I had to go to work with the skills that I had. And if that's the skills that kid have, I can't believe it, man. Sorry, I just took your hot take, but go ahead.
No, because it had me thinking this. Because the NCAA made it very clear you can't profit off of this thing. I mean, you can't sell your jersey. You can't profit off. It kind of does line up with the backwards way of their business. Is that you can't profit off kicking the ball because you're a kicker. You can't talk about football and profit because you play football. You can't. But it had me thinking there's a loophole here, ladies and gentlemen. They said you couldn't profit off football. That don't mean you couldn't make up a bogus YouTube account and decide to talk about cooking. And maybe there's a booster that might be very interested in your YouTube videos. And maybe he decides, hey, I'm going to monetize it. And you know what? I'll slide him a little more donation. I find this YouTube thing to be revolutionary in the sense that if you can actually post videos and monetize them as long as it's not about the sport you play, you can easily funnel money into that YouTube account to whatever recruit you want. Let's say Ezekiel Elliott had a YouTube account at Ohio State, and, you know, he went on there and he live streamed himself doing homework. You know, and let's say there was just a booster that just loved watching him do homework, which is creepy. But let's say it was.
Or even, that's funny. Or even better, what's your boy that signed the jerseys?
Oh, Manziel.
That's the one before that. Marquette.
Marquette.
Not Marquette. No, before that. Wasn't it somebody, or was it Terrell Pryor?
Terrell Pryor, yeah, he got thrown out of school for like
Terrell Pryor.
The tattoos.
Signing jerseys, right? So.
Yeah. No. Oh, what you call it got kicked. Des Bryant got kicked out of school too for like selling his jersey.
He was an Ohio State quarterback. Yeah. I thought his name started with an M and his last name started with a B.
No, you talking about
Braxton Miller.
Braxton Miller.
No, not Braxton.
He didn't get thrown.
I'm talking about Terrell Pryor.
Yeah, you're talking about Terrell Pryor. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Terrell Pryor. You're right.
Yeah, and then AJ Green got thrown out of school or suspended at Georgia because he sold some jerseys or whatever. But if AJ Green would have had a YouTube account of him signing, you know, a tennis ball, I mean, he could have made some money. I think this is a way to definitely get around the system. And I feel like somewhere in Florida they've already working on this. This YouTube scandal thing. Because, like, you can't tell me if I want to donate to this page. I may like the page. I mean, who knows? And so what if I watch your video 2 million times? There's a boost that
Unfortunately, people will probably find out that Florida isn't the most progressive place. But I think somewhere else they actually could employ what you're saying. Here's even bigger. If I'm that kid, first of all, what I thought of was, man, how good was Johnny Manziel? Because the illegal stuff that dude must have been doing, like, if this is a star quarterback, does this get reported or does it get handled the same way? Like, the stuff that dude did, Johnny Manziel, and he just was like, oh, my parents got a lot of money. Every time something happened, my parents got a lot of money. Parents got a lot of money. Oh, why are you doing? You're showing up late. Hey, my parents got a lot of money. Hey, look, in Vegas, and you got a game on Saturday. Parents got a lot of money. Like, how good was Johnny? Texas A&M that clearly the NC never could come back on.
I mean, Johnny Manziel was fantastic.
Like
you can argue like that one season. You can argue it's like one of the greatest seasons in the history of college football. I mean, he was
my second take.
He was the hype.
Even more important is if I'm that.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. After you. So the kid, I would say, as a student at a big time college, what I would have tried to sell them on is say, actually, I'm making zero money from football. What I'm actually making money from is my marketing skills. Ding, ding, ding. Because I tell them, now you can research this. There's 1,000 kids that can punt a football. There's 1,000 kids that can kick football. And they can probably do the same exact thing I'm doing welcome to do it. However, I'm not making any money off of football. What I am making money off of is marketing skills. And that's where these kids got to wise up nowadays and start thinking about how to diversify yourself. Like LeBron James is making money because he's a basketball player. LeBron James is making money because he's leveraged himself and he's marketing very, very well. So, like, that's what I would have done if I was a kid. I was like okay, I won't use football, but I'm using this marketing degree to get all these hits on YouTube that are turning into prosperity. And that has much less to do with football than it does have to do with the fact that I'm using marketing skills. I wonder how the NCAA would come back at that. Oh, now we get marketing skills because
I don't know, man. NCAA got
and hit people. Like, that's literally what they're telling you.
I mean, college football just got so many weird, or the college football, NCAA in general, just got so many rules where basically they try to lock you down the money, which seems like a weird thing to like the money. Why money? Why not, something else to crack down on that? It's like the idea of the college students making money is like the worst thing that could possibly happen. That's the only thing they crack down is on money and lunches, like the amount of lunches you can get a day. Like the only thing, food and money. It's the only two things they care about. Other than that, they don't care. You know what I mean? Go to class, don't go to class.
Because the thing is, once they start, you know this because you run your own show. Once you start paying people, you got to pay people. Like that's how that works. So I mean, it sounds like a simple concept, but the NCAA is hyping up.
The weird thing is like the NCAA, if they don't have to pay anybody, if they just let people get paid. I mean, now you get into the rabbit hole of pay to players, which I think if you're the pay to players argument, it's kind of like the fixing baseball argument. Is just dumb conversation because everybody has decided what they think and no one's changing their mind. If you think they should get paid, you're not going to change somebody's mind and say they shouldn't get paid. And if you don't think they should get paid by now, it's 2017. It's 2017, dude. If you ain't figured out whether they should be paid or not, you're not being converted, dude. It's over, man. It's over, man. It's like the Confederate flag. Like with that argument, that's dead, son. We don't do that anymore. Dude's too strong out here, man. Ain't nobody talking about that no more. So that's that, man. All right, man. If you got to run, go ahead and get your run on, dude. But I'm gonna keep rapping and trapping. I'm gonna keep rapping and trapping with you guys. Gonna take a quick break, and I will be right back. All right, yeah, dude. So I'll record the rest, and if you still in to chime in or whatever, you can chime in. But at the end of the day, I can still cut it out later.
What are you doing next?
We about to talk about Kaepernick, Jay Cutler. Then I'm gonna talk about Netflix, and then I think I'm gonna get out of here.
Kaepernick. What's Kaepernick talking about?
Oh no,
Jay can't get a job.
Yeah, no, yeah.
They're talking about he might go to Miami now.
Nah, Jay Cutler got that job.
Did he get?
Yeah, Jay.
Oh, he went back.
Yeah, Jay Cutler got that job. Yeah, so let's talk about Jay Cutler, Loop in the Cat, and then we be up out of here. Oh, the CD release show. I gotta talk about that.
Well, let me hold on. Let me stay on for the Jay Cutler, man. It's 5:12. I gotta get out of here. Let me stay on for the Jay Cutler, and then I might jump after that. But when I jump, I'll jump. Hey, just throw the quick hitters or whatever you want to do.
All right, cool.
I want because I gotta talk football. This is what I do. I do fantasy football. I do this.
All right. Hey, welcome back to the Show Podcast. Thank you for staying with the show. That's that Trick Daddy about my money. Don't be stunting and looking funny when I ask about my money. Let's talk about that money. We about to Netflix is $20 billion in debt. We're gonna talk about their money. But let's start here. Jay Cutler, Jay Cutler is gonna play for the Miami Dolphins. That news broke today, like a couple hours ago. Jay Cutler is gonna Miami Dolphins. Jay Cutler, it wasn't even a negotiation. Ryan Tannehill got hurt. It wasn't even, Jay Cutler came out and said, "I'm only coming back if I'm starting, and I'll only come back if you pay me like a starter." So Jay Cutler's making $10 million next year. $10 million from the Miami Dolphins, man. And I guess I just broke the news to you, man. So of course now we can talk about Colin Kaepernick, and that can get us through another week of the summer. But Jay Cutler, $10 million, Miami Dolphins. Good move, bad move. Let's kick it to you, Shannon.
Well, let me break it down. Are we in the fantasy football corner? Great, awesome. Let's go to the fantasy football corner. So honestly, there was a lot of speculation Jay Cutler might go back anyways. Why? Because Adam Gase, I believe, is either the coach or the offensive coordinator down there in Miami. Adam Gase was also in Chicago with Jay Cutler, where Jay Cutler also sucked. So good luck, Miami. Jay Ajayi, get ready to run that ball and run it a lot. Get ready to watch a lot of losses. Get ready to watch a lot of picks. But a lot of downfield throws, and then at some point, broken collarbone. So, good move, bad move, I don't know, but it's a Jay Cutler move. Like, what are you talking about? It's not good or bad. Okay. You're gonna see it's like a poor man's Blake Bortles. Like, you're gonna see a lot of down. This league only wins based off quarterback. So a lot of technical football breakdown, man. But fantasy football minute, Jay Cutler, you're on deck until you're not anymore. So I've never quit a job and then come back to that job and got a raise. But for doing that, Jay Cutler, baller of the week. Can't believe you did that.
By the way, while you was doing that, I was checking my messages on Facebook. Comedians, man. You know, I mean, y'all are my people. We in the corner. I'll get to Jay Cutler in a minute. We in the corner, all right?
We're in the lab.
If you don't know me, stop asking me for comedy spot like this. You know what? I'm off this. I'm off this now. Actually, I'm gonna hit Jay Cutler real quick. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get on comedians real quick. So like, if you got a problem and your solution is Jay Cutler, you still got a problem. So, comedians, look, man. Don't hit me up, man. This is the laziest thing you can do, man. I just get a message from a dude like, hey, man, somebody told me they knew you from Seattle and blah, blah, blah. Any shows coming up? I'm not your agent. I'm not your agent. Don't email me asking me to book you or asking me to get you shows other than shows I book. Do you know of any shows around your town? I mean, I understand if I know you. And you know what? I've been in the same position, too, where I'm like, hey, you know, do you have any bookers? Or, you know, I'm looking for a booker for this venue. I can help you out with that. But when you start saying, hey, watch my videos, give me a referral, dude, I'm not your agent, dude. I'm not your agent. Stop emailing me. Any shows coming up? No, yeah, there's a lot of shows coming up. You should go check them out. I mean, that's what you should do. Honestly, all you got to do. In Seattle is the easiest place if you want to do comedy. It's easy. There's a message board of over 2,000 comics in America. Probably not even people. They will add you to and it has every show in this city listed. You don't need my help. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send him a link to where he can get to the show. This dude wrote, I'm gonna read his email. Hey, what's good, brother? I'm not your brother, dog. And you hit me with a brother with an A on the end. I'm not your agent. I'm not your agent.
Solid.
I'm not gonna say your name because this is good content, dude. You know these are all jokes.
Man. Don't be a square.
These are all jokes. If you listen to the podcast, these are all jokes, man. Don't take it personal. Hey, brother. Hey, what's good, brother? I hope all is well. No, you don't. I mean, no, you don't. No, you don't. I can have gallstones right now. You don't hope all is well. You don't know me. I hope all is well. Any shows coming up in the next couple weeks? Okay, so you didn't even have the goodness to even get your grammar right. You know?
Okay, wait. Okay, now, see, I was about to see. I need to go the other way. And one day this was you, and in fact, sometimes. Okay, so let me back up. I'm gonna take you behind the curtain a little bit. So I'm a coach. I'm trying to get my program off the floor a little bit, and here in Florida, man. And sometimes it comes to that point where, like, you know, one of the issues we have is just trying to raise money because a lot of times us as coaches, we just take it out of our back pocket because they don't really care about sports and athletics unless it's football in Florida, which is probably a good long-term investment. But for me, trying to help out these young men, sometimes I find myself in a position like your boy does where it's like, dog, I don't know where to go. I heard that you know something about cash. I heard you know something about money. I don't know how to can you hook me up? Or not even hook me up, but can you help me out? Like, can you point me in the right direction? Honestly, I'm glad you're going to send that link because, honestly, that's probably what he needs. He probably needs something like that. So I'm going to get on his side for a second, man. As a person who's maybe done that before and maybe doing that currently, I might be writing the email currently. I'm not. But I'm just saying, man, sometimes it's hard out here for a working comedian, man. It ain't easy. We can't all be at the rendezvous. Make sure you plug the show. We can't all be at the rendezvous, okay? So, you know, I'm just saying, man. Get a brother a chance, man. Get a brother a chance.
Yeah. So anyway, so his original
No.
message to me was
No.
it
All
was
right.
it was it was, it was July of 2006. Man, this dude sent me a message. I'm a
Didn't
comic.
you just hear my speech?
I heard you, but I'm a comic out of Los Angeles. I wanted some shows. While out there, can you connect me? Thanks. Get back to me. You can't. Thanks, bruh. Dude, you keep hitting me with a bruh, dude. Like I don't like I'm like that dude in the OJ Made in
That's
America,
my uncle.
documentary when the dude was, hey, I don't know the guy. You know what I mean? So he wants to hug me. I don't know the guy. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm good. And then I said, hey man, I wrote this, hey, I'll try to help you and get you in the right direction. I've never seen you perform, but if you have a tape, send it to John Fox at the Comedy Underground. Search my timeline, Rick Taylor books a show in Capitol Hill. And he writes me back. I think I reached out to them both already, but I'll double check. Thanks, bruh. He hits me one of like, dude, like, come on. He goes, I spoke with Rick
You know
Taylor,
what you should do?
da da da
You
da.
should just copy
And
paste.
I said, cool. So he sent me
You should
another
just copy
message.
paste a link to the last show podcast. You can copy paste a
Hey,
link
man,
to the
look,
last show
man, I can't help you out,
podcast. To
man.
be like, honestly, this is where I give out all my comedy info.
Now, if I know you, it's a
Get the
lot.
viewers up.
It's different if I know you and I never even seen you. You're a random person to email me. And then he asked me, hey, have you heard anything yet? What are you talking about? I said, no, I didn't send anything. I just sent you the contacts. You said you already talked to him. Okay, thanks. I just wanted to ask. What the dude? Come on, man. I don't have time.
Okay.
So, anyways, so we'll see what happens, man. But the Jay Cutler, Colin Kaepernick, it doesn't look like he's going to play. And that's kind of sidebar with the Jay Cutler thing. I don't think I talked about this on a podcast before, but I've come to a revelation that NFL fans, they've it's not their fault. Colin Kaepernick is not playing, but NFL fans have made it an environment where the owners, NFL owners, are comfortable, not signing Colin Kaepernick because they feel like, oh, the fans don't want that. And the fans have allowed, and now the players are actually calling them out, which it'll be interesting. Richard Sherman, I don't know if you heard what he said, but Richard Sherman, by the way, he's just the dumbest fan base in professional sports. The dumbest. They always sign with management, and it makes no sense, especially when Colin Kaepernick could actually make your team better. And if you think he disrespected the military, number one, you don't get it. If you think he disrespected the flag, really, it's the flag. And second, and most importantly, the song is not even that good. It's not that good of a record. Like, if you were at a concert and the Spectacle Band came on, would you, I mean, honestly, would you give it a standing ovation? It's not that good of a record. Not that good of a record. I said the national anthem should be Money, Cash, Hoes by Jay-Z. I would stand up for that song. I just would. Stand ovation, clap the whole nine. I don't think it's that good of a song. So, but NFL fans, man, they allow owners to do stuff like this. And Colin Kaepernick being blackballed and not being blackballed, I just know this. It don't look like the dude's going to have a job. So you call it what you want to call it. Don't look like the dude's going to have a job, man. So,
But he joins a long line of just non-backup African American quarterbacks. You know what's weird is I feel like the African American quarterback, particularly the type of quarterback running and throwing that Colin Kaepernick is, you're either great or you're just not worth it at all. And honestly, I'm not blaming Colin Kaepernick for that. I'm not even blaming the owners. Maybe they're cowards, but maybe he's just not good, right? Like Jay Cutler, perfect example. Like, I can get a guy that's going to sit in the pocket. He's going to take some big hits, but he's going to throw the ball downfield. And I can predict that. That's predictable. I can see that, and I know what it's going to be. The unfortunate piece about a guy like Colin Kaepernick is at the point where you can't roll out anymore because you're not fast enough, or because you haven't played for a year in the league, or you're inaccurate when you roll out. Like, unfortunately, now I really don't have too many opportunities. And I feel like I don't want to be a person of the establishment because, honestly, I think racism is the answer to a lot of stuff in the world when it comes to the United States. Just me personally, like, especially being in education, I feel like racism has a lot to do with our personal education system. Why it's not everywhere else. Side note, everybody wants to be Denmark. Everybody wants to talk about how Sweden has the best education system of all time. Everybody loves Seattle. One of the reasons you love it is because you guys don't struggle with diversity as much, or Sweden doesn't struggle with diversity as much because it didn't have racist laws on the books. Like, we have racist laws currently on the books. It's a problem. We still killing black people in the streets. Like, that is an issue. The fact that we're trying to, like, educate people that we haven't educated for the last 60 years, and now we're trying to bring them up to speed in, like, 10, that's an issue. So going back to Colin Kaepernick, sorry about that digression, but going back to Colin Kaepernick, I don't think, maybe it doesn't have anything to do with racism. The African-American quarterback is generally made to roll out of the packet, run, and throw in the run. Like Donovan McNabb made it great. Aaron Brooks was alright at it, but Colin Kaepernick was phenomenal when it came to that. And I feel like there's a shelf life for that. I mean, the best example is Michael Vick. Michael Vick, assumingly a very smart person, but played the Browns, my team, and had 6 picks when he played for Philly when he came back. He then went and played for the Steelers and looked horrendous as a backup, or went to Pittsburgh and looked horrendous as a backup quarterback. Like, these guys, I think their shelf life is just not as much. You're a flash in the pan, you're hot while you're hot, but when you're not, you better go either play wide receiver or get ready to be over in Canada overseas somewhere, because that's not how the NFL game is made right now. It's made for a dude like Tom Brady or Matt Ryan that can just sit back, pick you apart, and just throw touchdowns down the field. I just don't. Maybe it's just real life that there isn't a backup spot for a guy like that. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, you can be 100% true. I concede to the fact that racism may not have anything to actually do with it. I don't think anybody's ever. You know what? I can't talk for everybody.
What happens when Russell Wilson can't run? What's gonna happen then, 12th man? Like, what are you gonna do then?
I bet.
Tell me what happens then when he can't break the pocket anymore.
Russell Wilson, whether he can run or not, he better stand up for that doggone national anthem. I know that much. They'll throw you up out of it. It ain't got nothing to do with racism. It got to do with the fact you need to stand up for that national anthem, dude. However you need to do it, just stand up for that national anthem. I don't. So that part, I actually don't think it's racism. I don't think that part is racism. I think they don't want you. The NFL doesn't want you to be an individual, and they didn't necessarily like that stand. So it's a message. It's a message to everybody else in the league, which is why it's blackballing. Which is why you can say that, because it's a message to everyone else in the league. Hey, don't think about doing this. If you think about doing this, you need to think again. Don't. So I actually don't think Russ, because if it's about his skills, if he stands up for that national anthem, he's still in the league right now. So it's not about the skills. It's not about the skills.
Think so?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. If he never, I mean, come on, dude. Jay Cutler just got a job. Jay Cutler, dude. Ryan Fitzpatrick has a job in this league. If he sits down for that national anthem,
how many black backup quarterbacks can you name right now?
I mean, just dude, honestly, 0. Let's be honest.
How many black starting including Denard Robinson? Like, how many Heisman Trophy candidate black quarterbacks can you name at the collegiate level? Probably all of them. Like, it's not all of them, but I'm saying, like,
there's a fair amount. There's a lot of black. I mean, well, a lot. I bet the percentage of black quarterbacks in college is probably more. But I'm just talking off the top of my head. I don't know. But I feel like there's a lot of black quarterbacks.
I bet I would. Of the Power 5 conferences, I bet 35 to 40%
I say 30%,
of those quarterbacks are African American.
I said that's probably right.
Of those 35 to 40%, at least 2 of them, let's include Deshaun Watson, and at least 2 of those guys are probably going to be 2 or 3 of those guys are going to be Heisman Trophy candidates. Like, every year,
winners. I agree. What's the point?
It's crazy. So all I'm saying is that clearly there's a drop off from the way the college game is played and how dynamic these guys seem to be when they come in maybe for their first season or 2 seasons. Like, honestly, Cam Newton, Russell Wilson, those dudes are oddities. Like, they just don't have black quarterbacks, and because the game isn't designed for running, jumping, breaking it, like, that's part of the reason Johnny Manziel's out the league. Like, it's not designed to do that. Like, I need you to sit in this pocket, wait for 100 seconds. That's why these quarterbacks are coming from places you never heard of. But like, I need you to sit back in the.
I agree. Yeah, definitely. I think. Well, in general, the less you can get hit in football, the better of a chance you have. That's any position, quarterback or not. So yeah, if you run more, you're gonna have a shorter career. It just is. But I would also say is that, you know, if you're looking at the number of black quarterbacks that transfer to the NFL and how that works, I think that includes white and black quarterbacks. Like, Tom Brady is an anomaly. I mean, the truth is, like, all these other guys that fail, whether it's Brady Quinn or what your man that went to USC, Matt Leinart, Brady Quinn, Matt Leinart, you know, Matt Flynn,
Mark Sanchez,
Jay Cutler. I mean, let's just be real. Jay Cutler, Mark Sanchez. I think honestly, Aaron Rodgers is the outlier, just the way Cam Newton is outlier. Same way Russell Wilson is the outlier. Same way. I mean, Eli Manning is not good. just happened to win a couple Super Bowls. The dude is not good. Phillip Rivers is a fantastic quarterback. There's just not that many people. So who knows?
But I think Mark Sanchez, Matt Leinart, those guys, I'm not saying it's totally race-based, and I think it's just the way they play the game. They were in the league for longer. They were able to have even a guy like Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson, like guys that were less mobile were able to stay in the league longer because, like you said at the beginning, the less you get hit, the better. And
the less you get hit, the better.
If your job, if your asset is being able to run around and evade people that hit you, then once that goes away, dog, I just don't know if it's worth.
So let's be honest. So there's 32 teams in the NFL. 10% of the teams would be 10 teams. And the number of black quarterbacks in the NFL that are going to start football.
No, but there's 32 teams. 10% would be 3. I don't know what kind of.
No, I'm saying 10 of the teams would be 30%, right?
Yes, 10.
I said 10. Oh yeah, 10% would be 3. Okay, yeah. 10, so I mean, because the number was 30%, and I think 30%. So that means if there's 10 black starting quarterbacks or 10 quarterbacks in the league that are, black, that would be about the ratio as college, which I think is fair. So honestly, I think this season coming up, there could be, I say maybe 5 black starters, 5. Which, I mean, is not quite, but that's not horrible. I mean, the number on the grand scheme is not horrible, especially in the sense that, it's just not that many good quarterbacks, too. So, there's a lot of things in play.
But what you're talking about is the fact that a backup quarterback, right? Well,
no, I'm talking about starters.
Richard Sherman's talking about.
But
what I'm saying is Richard Sherman is talking about having this guy, period. He's not going to come in and start day one, but maybe he could come in and he could back up Russell Wilson because he has a similar game to a Russell Wilson, right? But the idea is, what I'm saying is, there's not a lot of those backup positions, and unfortunately, what we're seeing through the story we just covered with Jay Cutler, what we're seeing with the story of Jay Cutler is not necessarily a race conversation, but a conversation of predictability, and the predictability of you being able to make it through games, and me being able to predict what you're going to do on a high number of plays as a backup. And I think what happens is that takes away your long-term earnings. It takes away your long-term relevancy, because now you can't be Matt Leinart or Mark Sanchez or Ryan Fitzpatrick and number 2 or 3 on my depth chart anymore. It's just not worth it, because you're either going to be awesome or you're going to be absolutely terrible. And I can't have that. I can't take that risk, right? That's what football is. I think these football owners. Go ahead.
I think you can be. I think you can be Ryan Fitzpatrick. You just, number one, you need to stand for the anthem. That's number one. The other thing is, you just need to be. You just need to be available. So yeah, if Cam Newton has a career in the injury, he can't. But I think Cam Newton could be a backup quarterback. Michael Vick was a backup quarterback in the NFL.
Say that to one of my kids. Hey, your best ability is your availability, right?
Until he couldn't play no more. Charlie Batch, Randall Cunningham. They were backup. Donovan McNabb. Well, Donovan McNabb, when he couldn't play no more, he just stopped playing. But he played until he couldn't play no more. But so we'll see. Obviously, you'll see what ends up happening with Russell Wilson. We'll see. But, the mobile quarterback and how they age. But, yeah, you're right. Usually they get injured, and then they get them up out of there. That is usually the way it works. But we'll see what happens. But, yeah, I actually think race has nothing to do with the reason that he's not in the NFL. His stance on police brutality, that probably has more of an issue than race, which I guess is linked with race in a way. Mm-hmm. But him being black has nothing to do with it, because I feel like if it was a white guy, like if it was J.J. Watt, I think he would still be in the league, but he'd be viewed a lot differently. I just don't think people care about that, because it's not an issue that affects their life. And the NFL fans allow the owners to just, do that. And then when everybody talks about, football decision, and then Steve Busciotti, who's the owner of the Raven, comes out and says, we're going to poll our fans to see. Why are you polling the fans if it's about football? What the hell does what's fans got to do with football? And then Ray Lewis or whoever gets on TV and says, oh, is it a bad thing to ask your fans what they think? Yes, Ray Lewis. Fans are stupid. You have the dumbest fans in football. So, and if you're going to ask the fans, that's fine. But don't piss on me and tell me it's raining, because sooner or later I'm going to taste the salt. Don't tell me that it's about football and then ask the fans and think I'm okay. Well, yeah, it's not about football. It's about the fans in your base, and your fans will not allow you to give Colin Kaepernick a job. So Colin Kaepernick is not going to have a job, and them just breaks.
Yep.
So that's it, man. That is it.
It's crazy, dog. Well, I mean, yeah, we'll see. I think it has something to do about being good. If it didn't have anything to do with being good, guess what? Ezekiel Elliott wouldn't even be a thought right now. But they like that dude's good. Greg Hardy wouldn't have been a thought, but it's about being good. Aaron Hernandez wouldn't have been a thought. Plaxico Burst. I mean, some of these guys would not have been a thought, but you know what? Hey, that dude still has value. So we'll just wait. We'll just wait.
I mean, it's gonna be tough for him to get it. If you can't get a job by now, even as a backup. I mean, and there's some bad quarterbacks in this league. I can't believe it. Like, I think, was it Josh McCown's a starter in the NFL? That dude's bad. He's not good.
Matt McGloin, the dude out of Tampa Bay, like. The backup out of Tampa Bay just got a starting job in Chicago for you.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that dude, I forgot his name. Yeah, I mean, you know, and he may be okay, but some of these guys aren't good. So you know, if you tell me Colin Kaepernick is not better than, you know, and not better than, you know, Josh McCown. I mean, I watched Josh McCown play. He's not good. So, and he's a starter in the NFL. Not a backup. He's a starter, and he's not good. He's not good. So, you know, we'll see what happens. We'll see how it shakes out. But I think he has a tough uphill battle. I want to talk about Netflix losing $20 billion, but we're gonna make this short. No quick hitters this week. There's no need for quick hitters. I'm gonna make this short and sweet. Netflix, I heard that y'all are in $20 billion in debt, and you know, my heart breaks for you. If you're gonna be $20 billion in debt, can a brother get 100,000? That's all I'm saying. You give it away. You in debt anyways. You might as well holler at your boy. I'm trying to get a special. You're
turning into that comedian. You're turning that comedian you hate. Netflix is over there like, I don't know you.
You know what?
Hey, I heard y'all in there. Hook me up.
Hey man, hey bro, at Netflix, hey bro. And you know what I should email him back and say, hey, can you reach out to Netflix and tell me to give me a deal? I'm gonna reply to that dude's email. I made fun of him. He gave me content for the show. But it's like, you know, Tony Kornheiser when he gets those emails. Hey, I'm doing a. He's like, yo, no, I'm not gonna be able to do it. I'm not gonna be able to do it. So, email him back. All right, man. Let's wrap up the show. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, stop the show. My album release show is coming up October 14th. It's an 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock show. So last night tickets went on sale for everyone. That comes with my monthly show. So if you're interested in the show, I actually sold some tickets last night, which is crazy. I sold more tickets for my show in October than the show coming up in September. So that was pretty cool. That was unexpected. So if you want to get tickets to the show, all you got to do is go to my website, CortneyShaneWilliams.com, or Brown Paper Tickets. It's Kortney's album show. brownpapertickets.com, and there's two shows. There's an 8 o'clock show. There's a 10 o'clock show. And the tickets are on sale now, man. Use code LAST SHOW, and you get tickets for $10 online. You got to pay the service fee. So if you see me on my monthly show, you know, just give me $10 cash, and we'll call it even. And we'll do that. So now the way tickets sold, I sold a handful. I sold quite a full of tickets. I was surprised the number of tickets I sold. So I think I'm gonna try to open up a 8 o'clock show on Friday. So then now we have 3 shows. So an 8 o'clock show Friday, and then Saturday 8 and 10 o'clock show. So I'm going to work on that. But thank you guys so much for supporting the monthly show. And tickets are on sale. And the tickets are going to be made public on Tuesday. So at that point, you got to get in where you fit in, man. The tickets will be public Tuesday, and I'll send out a big message and whatnot. I think that's all I wanted to say. Oh, I'm working on getting a DJ for the show. I'm working on some stuff, man. It's not just going to be a stand-up show, so we'll do that. All right, let's wrap up the show. Thank you for tuning into the Last Show podcast. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn Radio. Also, go to our website. You can see a backlog of all the episodes of shows, and you can do that. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Kortney Shane. You're not active on social media, right, Kyle? You're not active, right?
Nah.
Yeah, you're not active. All right, so you can follow me on Instagram. You want to send Kyle a message?
Send me a message. You can follow me at the Last Show podcast or anywhere you just mentioned.
Also,
And I'll be checking your mentions to see if they mention me.
Also on the previous show, I put up a poll. I forgot to update the polls. I put up a poll. Would you rather see a documentary on Michael Jordan or J.R. Smith? 66% of the vote J.R. Smith. So it confirms what I thought before. People
Wow.
more interested in J.R. Closer than you. Yeah, it is. Should have been like 90% J.R. Smith. But thank you for voting on the poll. Thank you for listening to the show. You guys have a good rest of your week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. These live shows, honestly, I think it affects the show. So if I do this live show, it has to be something that's just supplemental instead of me paying attention to it. But I think it affects the show. So I'll see how this sounds. If it sounds horrible, then we won't do it again. But just, trying to do stuff, trying to make moves. Thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Subscribe, share with your friends, people you may or may not know. Send random Facebook messages to people that you want to hook you up. All right? That's what you do. Have a good rest of your week. Take it easy. Peace. All right. Dunzo. Done.
Nice.
Zo.
Throw it in the bag.